Let's look at an example involving the normal distribution. I have recorded the number of minutes it takes to drive from my home in Oxford to my parents' home in Cincinnati. I've determined that, absent any major traffic problem, the driving time is normally distributed with a mean of 53 minutes and a standard deviation of 4 minutes. Part A. Sketch a picture of the normal distribution of driving times. Then use the empirical rule to describe the distribution of driving times. So on our paper, I'm going to start by drawing a horizontal axis and then a bell-shaped curve. So note the curvature as I do this. So it increases very gradually at first, then it seems to be constant for a moment, and then it tops off, reaches the maximum value, the mode, and then drops off, and then levels off, like that. So we don't expect perfection, but we do want a normal distribution or bell-shaped curve that looks roughly like this. So 53 is the mean. It goes in the middle of this curve, right at the peak. And I'm going to mark off 3 standard deviations in each direction, which takes me roughly to the end of the curve. And then I'm going to add or subtract the standard deviation 3 times to mark the other values under my tick marks. So adding 4, I get 57, and then again I get 61, and a third time to get 65. And then subtracting 4, I get 49, 45, and 41. So this is the normal distribution. And we can use the empirical rule to describe this distribution of travel times. So I would say 68% of driving times are between 49 to 57 minutes. And that's 1 standard deviation below and above the mean. 95% of driving times are between, now I go 2 below and 2 above. So it would be between 45 and 61 minutes. And then 99.7% of driving times are between 41 and 65 minutes. By the way, all of these are approximations. We can get more accurate answers using the normal calculator. So this is the empirical rule. Next part, based on the Z-score criterion, identify driving times considered outliers. So the Z-score criterion tells us that any observation with a Z-score either above +3 or below -3 we call an outlier. And it actually corresponds to the last values that I indicated, the extreme values that I indicated on my graph. So driving times below 41 minutes or above 65 minutes are considered outliers. In the next part, we're going to go to the StatCrunch normal calculator to find probabilities for parts C through F. So stay tuned.